I was like, ooh.
That's the third time I cried. Bro,
Wait,
that
okay.
scene.
Pizza time. Pizza time. Pizza time. You're late.
Pizza time.
Pizza time.
How's it going, Ed? Welcome back to the United States.
Thank you. I wish I could say the same for you, which I gave my introduction back home to you was being immensely late for the for the first time for this podcast or taping.
Yeah.
I am so sorry. I got up an hour-ish late. I should have been done taping the show at the time
and we're
that
just
I woke
starting.
up.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. But this jet lag, as anybody knows, if you've traveled, it's something else. It's just something else. It's a bitch.
Yeah.
And what the funny thing is, I got up at 7:30 and I was like, "Yay! I'm good. I figured this shit out in a day." And then, of course, I fell back asleep for another 3 hours. So, that's my morning. But graciously, thank you. I really do. Thank you, my friend, my bro, for putting up with that bullshit. I appreciate it. But I'm here. What can I say? Let's Snoop Dogg shit.
Yeah, like Ed's had a bumpy morning, a sleepy, slow morning, but we're back. We are here to talk about Barfi. I can't do it. I can't like say it the way he says it with the cool.
I know that. How charming is that guy?
Yeah, how charming. Ranbir Kapoor, I believe is his name.
Correct.
I think he's very popular in Indian cinema. I think we've seen all the tent poles now of Indian cinema, the men at least. Ranbir, Amir Khan, Shah Rukh Khan, and Salman Khan.
Yes.
A lot of Khans. Anyway, that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about Barfi. Barfi is I can't remember the year of it. Barfi is a 2012 film. And it stars, like I said, Ranbir Kapoor.
Ranbir. It's actually R-A-N.
Oh, it is Ranbir.
Yeah. I'm just realizing
Kapoor. Yeah, that's much easier to pronounce. I thought it was something different. Anyway, Ranbir Kapoor, Priyanka Chopra, and Ileana D'Cruz. I believe I'm not sure she's Indian.
Ileana? I'm not.
Ileana D'Cruz.
I guess.
But
something like that.
It's basically a love story of sorts between Barfi, a hearing challenged and speaking challenged man,
Mutant deaf.
Mutant deaf. Yeah, that's a much easier way to
get that to the easiest common denominator.
Mutant deaf. That's much easier to put it. It stars him, Barfi. He's mutant deaf, and he meets I forget her name. I can't say her name. And he falls in love with her and wants to do an absolutely terrible job. He meets Shruti. Her name is Shruti. And he falls in love with her and he wants to marry her. They have a kiss, and she's already promised to a man with money. And basically, Barfi is heartbroken, and he somehow, some way, gets caught up in kidnapping another woman, Priyanka Chopra, just out of the blue, because he needs money to save his father. And that's the overall gist of the story. It's a terrible, terrible summation of the story. I'm really sorry. But I'm very interested to see what Ed thinks about this film, because the last time there was an autistic character, he really disliked the movie. He really, really disliked the movie. So I want to know if Ed is an autistic hater.
You fucker. What a setup.
So Ed, I'm going to toss it to you. What did you think of Barfi?
Okay, hold on. You son of a bitch. I wasn't expecting that setup today. I already apologized to you for the. Okay, I get it. That's fine. I'll deal with this one. I got it. You're not wrong. You're actually, that's a really good setup, because you're not wrong. If you haven't watched our My Name is Khan review, I did hate on the film. It was Not because he was autistic. Let me just make that. Let me just make that clear. If you don't believe me, watch that. If you haven't watched it yet, it actually is a great review for both of us. It was awesome. But yeah, okay, I didn't like the movie, but it's not because he's autistic. That being said, this movie, I will say.
Wait, you didn't like Barfi?
No. My name is Khan. I didn't like that.
We're
movie.
still talking about My Name
I
is
did
Khan.
not
Okay.
like that movie. That being said, I gotta tell you, man, I fucking love this movie. I absolutely adored this movie. I think it's maybe top 3, maybe top 5 somewhere. I haven't really thought about it yet because there's so many great films that we've watched so far. But this is yet another one. I'm like struggling to put somewhere in the top of our pantheon of Indian movies.
Yeah,
dude, it's so good on every level. If you can see here, this is my notes. You see this section, right? I know it's not clear, but
go
you
to
see
the
the
dual
section right
screen
here.
because my notes are the same. I have the same thing.
I have this empty space right here. Oh, the dual screen. Sorry. Yeah.
Go. My notes are the same, man. Like
this is the cons section. I literally have almost no cons.
Dude,
then there's no cons. I have no cons right here.
I have things I love at the top for me, and then at the bottom there's cons, and I didn't write anything down.
Yeah, you can. Bro, dude, we are this is why we do this. That's why. But look, I love this movie so much. I think it might be one of the greatest like love story comedy dramas I've ever seen. I know it's gonna be in the top of mine forever. From the direction, the cinematography, the performances, the screenplay, it's just all there. It's all so good. It was so I can imagine that this was so meticulously put in pre-production because almost every shot seems made for the moment. And the music, I think the music is the best use of, if you want to talk about an Indian trope, it's the best use of it in any of the movies I've ever seen. It's wonderful. Anyway, I don't want to go into any specifics yet because there's so much to talk about. I just want to give you my energy of the film because it is so freaking good. I laughed, cried. We have so much to talk about, and I want to get into it. And I want to ruin it. I just want to give you my quick review. Loved it. Loved it. Incredible.
Okay, so funny thing that you meant, I made a point to write down about the music in Barfi's theme because I wanted to ask you about it later in the podcast when we get to it, because you have rightfully so at times said, "Oh, Three Idiots, the PK's theme," I believe it what it was. It's annoying. There was another theme that was annoying, and like sometimes those themes can get annoying. That's not the greatest like instrumental beat,
right?
But
themselves.
I wrote that down just to say that. But my thoughts of the movie, I loved it. I will go as far to say this is the greatest love story I've ever watched on screen. I don't really think I can. I don't think I can find anything that I've seen in American cinema that would top this. Like, you'd have to give me some really good movies. But
Titanic. I'm just kidding. The Notebook.
James Cameron. Also, get the fuck. I fucking hate The Notebook.
I don't love The Notebook. I don't hate it, but I don't.
Two separate girlfriends have made me watch The Notebook. I couldn't make it through the time. Like, I just fucking hate that movie. Anyway, I will go on record saying this is the greatest love story I've ever seen put on screen. I am not a big Wes Anderson fan, but all I thought was like, this is Wes Anderson done right, like done better. This is better than anything Wes Anderson has ever put out.
That is so that is exactly in my notes. I have that in my notes. I'm like, it's not shot like Wes Anderson, like with the all symmetry bullshit.
Wide,
Sorry, I don't mean to say that. But the tone is very much. It has a lot of inspiration. I put Amelie. I think it carries a lot from Amelie. Visually, I think it carries a lot from that, and the tone I think is very Amelie. And then the obvious one's Charlie Chaplin, which I've already said about PK, right? And then this one was Charlie. I was like, this is Charlie. I mean, it was obviously Charlie Chaplin. Also, I don't know if you caught it, but there's 2 frames of Charlie Chaplin in the beginning of the movie. So they this was very much a love letter. Yeah. So you remember that scene where he's found sleeping on um the god statue or the
Yeah,
statue?
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
He runs immediately after when he runs away. There's a
Yeah.
very quick pan shot of him running away, and you see a Charlie Chaplin cutout. It's actually kind of creepy. I'm not really sure that was very purposely put there, but
Well,
you
Charlie Chaplin's
see Charlie
creepy.
Chaplin's
Yeah.
cutout right there for 2 frames. I'm like, oh, that's fucking there you go. Because earlier in
He's
the movie, you see that amazing stunt where the ladder,
the
right?
ladder,
I'm
the
like, that's fucking Charlie
ladder
Chaplin.
scene.
That's Charlie
Oh,
Chaplin. And then like they undercranking of
yes.
the some of the shots. I'm like, that's fucking
Yes.
Charlie Chaplin. Like,
Dude.
how's that not Charlie Chaplin? And of course, they give the shout out right there. So a lot of amazing inspiration, not just Wes Anderson, but it was all that, and
Yes.
yet still managed to be its own movie.
Original.
Anyways, keep going, keep going.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
just want to
So
say
yeah.
that. Incredible.
To give my general thoughts of the movie to continue again, like I said, I think it's the greatest love story ever put to
I
film.
would agree with you.
It takes you through a whole pantheon of emotions when before we get into spoilers or anything like that. Everything he has to go through, Barfi goes through, and then everybody in the comments kept saying Priyanka puts on a really, really special performance in this. And I would 100% have to agree. She really kind of helps. I only know Priyanka Chopra because she's married to one of the Jonas Brothers here. That's like my fucking knowing of her, which is such a silly thing to say. Like, obviously, this woman is a massive star there. And yeah, she was just spectacular in
Let's
this.
talk about it really quick because I also wanted to bring that up because
Okay.
it makes me feel ashamed that the way her into American entertainment was Quantico.
Yes.
And I never watched Quantico because if you don't know what Quantico is, it's like an ABC show. It was like a nighttime drama. What do you call it? What is Quantico? Like FBI training, like a cop
Procedural.
show. Yeah, whatever.
Procedural.
I looked at that. I'm not a big TV guy, so I looked at that show going like, I don't want to watch this. And the way that they completely, in my opinion, I felt like they really exploited her like sort of looks, because she's beautiful. She's obviously fucking dead gorgeous. And she looked at like one of those, oh yeah, here's like a hot chick being like,
Cool.
being kind of cool. And I was like, that's bullshit. And ever since then, I've never really given her the time of day.
Same.
This and Dawn makes me go, I'm such a fucking asshole. She is incredible. She's such a great, and that's not partly my fault. Fucking give her something of substance in America, guys.
Yeah.
She's incredible. She's an incredible actress. And if this movie doesn't show that, it does. It does show that. She's awesome. She's awesome. And a part of me, again, as an asshole, was like, oh, they got a hot chick to play an autistic girl. I don't know how this is gonna work out. That's terrible, but I'm sorry, but come on. No, but she's incredible. She's incredible in this film.
Yes, fantastic. She's absolutely fantastic in this. And like I said, all our comments really like, when you guys get into the engagement stuff and talking, between each other, you guys everyone said she puts on this really charming, great performance. And I would have to agree. It's so good. I completely agree with that. I loved this movie. I write like top 3. This might be second behind 3 Idiots, which again is like the greatest.
I agree.
One of the greatest films I've ever seen.
I know.
I just like, oh my God.
I look at this movie, I'm like, this is a masterpiece. I have no issues with it.
There's so many amazing shots in this movie. The shot where they're painting the picture of her, right?
Yeah.
And it's like he's looking back at her and he paints, and he's looking back at her and he paints, and then it zooms out and it's the fucking artist painting, and it's just Barfi being hilarious.
That's the inspiration from
silent films
silent films, Charlie Chaplin area, the Three Stooges.
Yes.
Is so here. It's clearly a love letter to that time, and it's just amazing. Like that shot's just so amazing. And that's a clever shot. I have another shot that I thought was just I had to rewind because I was like, wow, how did they get that's a great shot. And to anybody else, I don't think it would see the time of day, but it was a shot when he gets hit by the pole the second time that he's riding alongside when what's her name? Shruti is leaving right after that whole thing.
Basically broke his heart.
Yeah, but there's this beautiful low angle shot where right after he falls to the right of camera, and then the train cuts through on the left side of camera, and then they have the wheel. I'm pretty sure that was all practical. But that shot's incredible because again, it's one of those things that just doesn't exist really anymore. Blocking, just lockdown shot of
Yeah.
like giving you the emotion of like love. You've lost your shot, like your love is disappearing, and
Yeah.
you're down on your luck. It's just this fantastic
Right.
fantastic shot that I'm sure is practical, but in no way I don't think anybody in modern cinema would take the time of day to try to get at all,
Right.
And this is remind you, this is made on less like pennies in relation to American film. The amount of times
35
I'm sure
quid.
the amount of times they should have they must have gotten that take is insane. But
Well,
it
like,
just goes to show the filmmaking behind this movie is just bar none incredible. Just great stuff. Anyways, keep going. The shots are
yeah,
incredible.
this
Cinematography is
was
awesome.
made for. Oh wait, that's not right. I'll find it later. But yeah, no, I think maybe the overall theme that we continue to say about these films that always seem to blow our minds away is the blocking, the staging, the attention given to details
The
that we
detail.
don't get anymore in our films.
Yeah.
Like we get it in like the occasional Tom Cruise movie or like a James Cameron film, but those are like the bastions of cinema. So they're like
Right.
for
Or an
us
indie
at
film.
least.
Like a lot of it is like
Yeah, oh,
indie
indie films
films.
they'll take the time to do this
They'll take
stuff.
the time. Yeah.
Yeah. It, it,
But
it,
even indie films nowadays have been largely reserved to be a little bit more purist. Like they're not meant to be enjoyed
no,
like by the masses, right?
no, you know, no.
But here again, like this is 2012. It's been a second now, but still, like
Jesus.
I can still
Been over
remember
10
back in
years.
2012 where like this kind of movie is already starting to sort of fade away. You don't really see that in mainstream movies anymore, and it's just like here it is alive and well, And I'm so happy to see that.
Yeah,
The filmmaking all around in Indian cinema, at least, again, I know we can attest to the fact that we've seen some movies that are not exactly pillars of filmmaking in India. They have their it's similar in India, I'm sure, but again, it's just it's still the level of filmmaking for this amount of money in a place in the area of a world where America is just completely not in
yeah,
is like opening our eyes, our third
fantastic.
eye
Yeah,
almost to like
yeah,
what the fuck, man? Great filmmaking exists without hundreds of millions of dollars.
yeah. Really,
It
it's so impressive.
really should be put in the forefront,
Yeah.
not
So
these fucking movies that we have in modern day anymore. Like it just
let's start. Getting into spoilers, getting into
let's do it. I'm so
specifics.
ready.
And I want to start with the very top. I have it bolded and
Do it.
underlined on this notes. Let's just start with the performances across the board. Let's start with Ranbir. Let's start with Priyanka. Let's start with I forgot her name. I'm so sorry.
Ileana, I guess.
Yeah, Cruz, Mrs. Cruz.
Cruz.
What do you think? Who
Had the best performance?
who had the best performance?
You can't do that to me, bro.
Who had the best
It's
performance?
hard.
I have my opinion, but
You have your opinion. Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, obviously across the board, the
insane.
performances are awesome. I've one of the things I've also noticed is that casting in Indian films and at these levels, in all levels, really, they just get they have actors. They have actors who have charisma, and they have actors who not only are beautiful, but that are really good at getting to the core of who their characters are, who are able to give us these really true performances. And across the board here, Ranbir, Priyanka, Ileana, I think they had all their moments to shine. And they're phenomenal. If I were to pick my favorite performance, I would go with Ranbir.
Yeah,
personally, we're picking diamonds at this point, right?
Yeah.
Ranbir's. I mean, not just from an emotional level, but that physicality, dude. I thought Mr. PK, Amir Khan. He has it, but what they had to ask from Ranbir here is next level. I mean, to really, he plays a mute and deaf character. He cannot speak,
right?
He cannot hear. It all has to come through his physicality,
right?
And every scene he's in, he's magical. He completely gets the essence of Charlie Chaplin, of those silent film eras. His face, his physicality. Let's go even further, Mr. Bean. Right?
Yeah.
All of that.
Yeah.
he's just one of the great. I would put him up there with that. He just completely commanded that with
Yes.
every part,
Absolutely.
whether it was being funny, whether it was being
Mhm.
dramatic, all that. Absolute A plus of a
Yeah.
performance from Ranbir. But again, you want to talk about Priyanka? He just nailed it too.
Yes. I think
Uh,
so. Yes.
just all the
Um,
nuance of a person with autism, much like SRK did
yeah.
in
Shah
My
Rukh
Name Is
Khan,
Khan
yeah.
as well, which again I thought was a great performance. I do not hate autistic people. He did a great job. Priyanka did a great job too. And then talk about Ileana, who you know played the most like an average person in the
Yeah.
sense, like obviously had no an autism, just a beautiful woman. Also, just brought it with her,
Like,
her crushing story
yeah.
about
Yeah.
trying to find love.
Yeah.
It's just
So
incredible. Anyways,
for
loved
me,
it.
I actually would say Ileana gets second just because she has to play off
I
the
agree with you.
both of those. Both Priyanka's great performance
What a great point.
and obviously Ranbir, he's gonna be number one. Like, I mean, the dude, there's when his heart gets broken for the first time
I was gonna say. Go ahead.
and
Keep going.
he has to, without saying a single word, he has to convey to the audience all the emotions of your heart being broken,
His
seeing the
heartbreak.
person you love settle for somebody else when deep down she wants you. Like,
Yeah.
watching that scene unfold was heartbreaking. So heartbreaking. And I was like,
It's the first time I cried.
"Oh,
I cried. That
of
was the
course you
first time I know it. It's
cried.
the first time I did. It's the first time I did. That scene,
Of course you cried."
incredible. And it's all on the shoulders of Ranbir's
Yeah,
performance there, and he
yeah.
aces it.
And
Aces it. I was the look he gives when he sees the guy.
yeah,
Oh fuck,
yeah,
like my heart completely broke.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I hated life at that moment for him so much.
yeah,
And he aced it.
yeah,
I started tearing up. I was just like, that sucks.
yeah,
That absolutely anybody who has ever gone through a heartbreak like that, like knowing that you will not get this,
yeah,
is just he
yeah,
completely aced it. And wow.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
what a
then
scene.
so that scene was amazing. And then
Amazing.
when we see there was two moments I think that Ileana really, really shined. And that's when she's giving the narration toward the end of the movie
Yeah,
where she
100%.
realizes Barfi's heart isn't hers anymore.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
already it belongs to what was, oh my gosh, what was Priyanka's character's name? Sorry.
Jhilmil.
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 Jhilmil. Jhilmil.
Jhilmil.
Jhilmil. Yeah.
It belongs to her. That watching that scene happen and then the to almost like just really kind of combat Ranbir's performance when they go and find her again and she's yelling his name. She's yelling Barfi. She's yelling out for Barfi. Obviously, he's mute. He can't hear
Right.
anything.
Yeah.
And you see her eyes, which were already sad because she wasn't there for him. And her eyes and the whole realization that she has to let him go in that moment. I was like, ooh.
That's the third time I cried. Bro,
Wait,
that
okay.
scene again. Dude, talk about again blocking and performance. Blocking and performance.
Yes.
That's at the end of the day, it's kind of the bread and butter of cinema because you go back to where cinema started. That's
Yeah.
all you had. You
Mhm.
couldn't move the camera. There was no CGI to uplift you. You
Right.
had to basically deal with one camera and no sound. There was no sound at one point, if people forget.
Yeah.
All you had was the performance and the blocking. You had to tell a story with those two things. Maybe
Yes.
lighting, but even then, like on a general level, people didn't really understand that yet. So all you had was the performance and blocking. That scene is incredible at the way that they block that because
Mhm.
it tells the story of like exactly these people and like what they've had to deal with this entire story, right? Ileana has this moment where she's not impaired. She knows exactly what's happening. She knows it before either of those characters.
Mhm.
And yet she's the one his heart is going to break for the final time in this movie.
Yeah.
And she has to be the one to deliver it to the
Right.
two characters that are in love. and you see, and it's this great. It kind of reminds me of the Dark Knight Rises moment where you have Bale and what's his face what's his name? I'm forgetting it, but
Bane?
Alfred. No, Alfred and Bale, and the
Alfred.
final shot where you have to like,
Oh.
he has to like convey all those emotions on his face. It's the same thing with Ileana here, where she has to be like, they say no words,
No words.
and she has to give this painful acceptance of like,
Yeah.
I'm letting you go.
Yeah.
This is your future.
Yeah.
You don't love me anymore, and that's fine. And I have to let you go. And I just lost it.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful direction, performance, blocking, all coming together, and
Yeah.
it was so great. It's just
Right.
cinema at its best, man.
It
just
is cinema at its best. You have this first love story where you're like, man, he really loves her, and then there's the scene, which the scenes I love so much is the simplest scene in the movie where he cuts the pole
Yes.
and he lets it fall. And he
Yeah.
holds the hand, and he's just looking for his soulmate.
That's
someone
when you
that'll
know.
stand there with him. That's
Right?
when he knew.
That's when you know.
That's when
You know
it's
he's
her.
not. It's never going to be Ileana again. It's not.
Yes.
It's not her. It's
Yes.
Shruti's gone. Shruti's
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
You just get, exactly. What, and then again, the pole theme was just fantastic.
Beautiful
to
moment.
bring that back every
Yeah.
single. I mean, it's just awesome. The payoff of that is just
yeah.
so great.
So
Great.
performances across the board were just absolutely spectacular. I think
No
we could talk for,
sour,
like 3
no
hours
sour
about the
performance in the bunch. Oh, even the
Yeah, so-
inspector, the father, everyone was just it was great.
Everyone was fantastic.
Fantastic.
What something else I want to talk about is we can talk about the love story, but let's talk about the comedic beats and just
Mhm.
how well all of that worked.
The humor
The humor
is
was
fantastic.
top notch. This is a love story, but it works just as well as a comedy.
Correct.
It is so there are so many the kidnapping scene. I had to pause the movie because I was laughing so hard. When he shows up, he's got
Right.
the chloroform is what I'm assuming it was on the and she's not in the bed, and he's like, oh fuck. And then he gives it to the cop. The cop falls asleep in the chair. Like every beat of that was fantastic, phenomenal, just so funny. What were some of your funniest parts of the movie that you?
That was obviously any Charlie Chaplin-y bit. They nailed. They nailed. I literally have a list of these moments, and and these are smaller moments too, but they had me reeling. This is like classic humor. It's just such classic humor that you don't need to have like high profile mind to understand. It's not deep humor. It's just human level humor that anybody can understand.
Yeah.
When Barfi is peeing in the fields, very clear. It's just a very small moment, but when like the people start like popping up each time, he's struggling to figure out. But it's so has nothing to do with the main storyline. Has nothing to do with the main storyline. It's just pure funny. It's just hilarious to watch. That's one. The door tag with the inspector, classic gag, like old school gag when he's trying. He's escaping and he can't deal with the door. It's just like back and forth. He traps him in it. Fantastic. Another small one, hiding behind the horse when the mother comes out and he has to hide, and you go, where the fuck did he go? And like the horse turns and he's there. I mean, so like again, this is not comedian. This is not like modern comedian level humor. It's just physical human level humor that anybody can find. The painting shot again. I mean, it's stuff like that. It's just so freaking funny on a human level.
When he's
say it again,
the belly shot. So the guy.
When he's like the newspaper,
at that guy's bare belly, and it's the newspaper. I was laughing so hard.
This is just like how can you not find this funny? It's such just pure humor. Again, it's when you juxtapose this humor to the so painfully artificial and forced humor in not just MCU movies and not just comic movies, but even comedy, just comedy films nowadays. It's just so like bit by bit kind of humor. It's just so it just makes it feel so stale and lame.
I have no problem saying this is the funniest movie I've seen in the last few years. I mean,
Yeah,
like since Game Night. This
yeah,
is the funniest movie since
honestly,
Game Night that made me
yeah.
laugh.
Like
You know, this
legit laugh
like legit
from
laugh.
moment
Yeah.
to moment.
Yeah.
And like just and precision. Again, talk about precision where it's like every laugh is earned and there
Yep.
versus like in a lot of comedies now, you basically have to, from what I've heard,
Mm.
you're doing a lot of just let's shoot and see what happens. Like sometimes you kind of just
Yeah.
get what you get. You have to kind of put it in the show and put it
Yeah.
in the shot. Sometimes it's like okay, funny, and you
Too,
can kind of feel it.
yeah.
Talk
Too
about
much
these moments.
improvisation, I
Yeah,
think.
there's a lot of
You know?
improvisation
Yeah.
where it's like it relies too heavily
Yeah.
on that. Like this is not that. This is like
Yeah.
I'm gonna like this moment's gonna be funny. I'm
Yeah.
going to make this moment funny and it's going
Yeah.
to work and it's
Yeah.
going to fit exactly where I need it to fit in my movie. Talk about masterful direction. Like,
Fantastic.
and the director, by the way, his name is Anurang Basu.
You should
Anurang Basu.
pronounce every name going forward
I'll
because
try.
I've butchered everyone's name and I'm so sorry I do it. I'm Ed's
It's endearing.
closer. Ed's
It's endearing.
heritage is closer to India than mine. Mine's in Mexico and
That's
Puerto
true.
Rico. Ed's is in, at
You know,
least Ed's in the Philippines.
Speaking of, I didn't realize the amount of time it took me to realize that Indians were Asian is embarrassing. So sorry about that. But I didn't know. I didn't know, dude. Like I had a lot of Indian friends growing up. I had no clue they were Asian. I didn't know that. Like, what the fuck? You look at me and then you look at them. I mean, yeah, we're all dark, but like, I just geographically as a kid, I just didn't. I wasn't there. Anyways,
my mother thinks Filipinos are Mexicans,
Well,
so
there you go.
I'm like, I don't think that's
well, that
right.
is kind of the funny thing. But no, well, again, we've had this discussion before. I mean, she's not wrong just because they did conquer us, and a lot of our culture is actually around that. My last name, Celia, is chair in Spanish. So there you go. I mean, she's not wrong in a sense, it's more that's a cultural and then a geographical difference.
Questions,
so
right? That's the
it's
thing.
kind of wonderfully nuanced, like how cultures can be, anyways,
back to Barfi.
the fuck are we talking about? Yeah, anyways, whatever we're talking about, it's wonderful. Oh, the direction.
Yeah, let's get into that.
Direction is, I mean, it's just immaculate. I mean, you just talk about someone who if this guy did not pre-pro everything, next level master. I'd like to think that the guy did, because every shot is purposeful. Every moment is purposeful. Every moment feels like it had to happen. It had to happen. It was the only way it could come together in order for this movie to work. That's how this movie feels. That's how, when we talk about masterful direction, that's what it means. Mm-hmm. Like when you talk about it, like how, because it's one of those Oscar categories where, like, how the fuck do you even begin to get that? Like, who's the best director? Like, how most people don't understand what that means.
Right.
This is the kind of movie that you show someone, go like, this is what we mean. This is where, like, everything makes sense. Like when there's someone behind the scenes who's orchestrating it all, who every little moment fits, every little camera direction makes sense, has a purpose. That's what that means. This guy is exactly what we mean when we say great direction.
There are no wasted moments in this movie. Like, same with 3 Idiots. There are no wasted moments, or any minute of screen time is not wasted. Again, we've said for many, many times, some of these movies are too long. This movie's not too long. I was not tired of this movie. I loved every minute of it.
No fat.
Fucking charming movie. And, like, I really want to ask our audience below, because they seem to be so knowledgeable and stuff. Was the Charlie Chaplin, the silent stuff, is it the director planning it out, or was it Ranbir? Did he give Ranbir some, like, play to go, hey, you do what you see what fits, or was it both of them? Like, I really want to know, because everything he did was so pointed, so purposeful, just so well thought out. And it's just like, man, how do you get a movie this well thought out, done? Because it really is special. Really,
this is one of those movies, again, like 3 Idiots, where I go, it makes me, it simultaneously makes me want to make movies, and also makes me feel like I'll never make a movie like this.
Yeah.
I just won't. I don't think I have the patience. I don't think I have the.
Uh,
I'll never have the time. I will never
mhm.
have the team as good as who came to fruition for this movie. Because like to make some of these things work, just
Mhm.
takes complete dedication, not just from one person, but the entire team. It takes
Right.
complete excellence and dedication
Right,
from
right,
all
right.
departments of filmmaking.
Yeah.
And this is one of those movies where I go,
I can't
I just
throw the
don't
white
think
flag
I
up.
don't think so. I
Yeah.
just don't think my life will ever come to this exact amalgamation of
Mhm.
people and time and just everything to come together and to make
Yeah.
this film. I just don't think it will ever happen. So
Yeah.
that's how great this movie is.
Yeah.
So
So, something else I'd like to talk about that we haven't touched on yet.
go on.
I want to talk about the second part of the love story, which is Priyanka Chopra's love story with
Sure.
Ranbir,
Yeah.
because it caught me so off guard that
Sure.
I didn't think we were going in that direction toward that love
Mm.
story. I think a lot of people, like in my mind, I was like, oh, he's gonna take care of her, and but when he started to fall in love with her and the moments started to like happen, there was the montage with the very cute montage with the mirrors when he's engraving
Right.
the pans,
Mhm.
and I my heart was warmed so much when
Oh,
she's the person that doesn't move. I thought, and at that moment, it hit me. I was like, she's she's the one for him.
yeah. Yeah.
And like I just want to say again, I Priyanka Chopra playing an autistic person in this movie. I think she does a really fantastic job just with SRK did. Autistic people, they have a hard time being out with the sounds and adjusting
Mhm.
to new things, and like the simple things like even mud on her shoes could just shut her down. And like my wife works with autistic people, she is autistic, not to that level, but like that, to watch it on screen it's a nice thing to see,
Yeah.
like someone giving it respect and time. And Priyanka Chopra, hats off to you. And like I agree with you, Ed. I feel bad that like you've been pretty much over sexualized here in America and not given a chance to. I'm sure you're sexualized there, but like not given a chance. Yeah, I'm sure like
There
I'm
was Don too. Let's not forget about
yeah,
Don
yeah,
too.
like
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm not given the chance to star in something that actually matters.
Right.
Like
Right.
you're in this new show Citadel, which is
I was
getting
gonna
just like
say
view bombed right
there
now. Like
there's
people are,
Citadel. She's in
there's
something
no
else
one
too.
giving it a good review yet.
She's in something Love Again. She has another movie too that which is a I believe a romantic comedy.
Oh well, maybe
Yeah.
we'll watch that.
Love
Um,
Again, which is actually in theaters right now. No, releasing in May on May 12th.
oh
She's in that too. I saw some like junkets
oh,
and I was like, I don't know what the fuck it was either, but I was
I
like,
didn't
oh,
know
it's
that.
Priyanka Chopra.
Oh,
So yeah, again, like she's in some stuff, but like,
but
yeah, you don't
not
see
to
her
this
in
level.
dramatic roles like
No,
this,
like this
stretching
is
her
a
drama.
fantastic. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
um, I just wanted to like highlight that whole section where they fall in love, and when Ranbir he tries to take her to one of the caretakers, and then she follows her again. Like he tries to get away from her like three different times. Uh, when he's escaping the cop on the little cart
Mhm.
on the train tracks, that was so funny to
Yeah.
watch because he stopped and like, what's stopping him?
Right.
And then you
And
you
it's her.
have the yeah, it's her. You see the skirt, and it's like looking through her legs, and I'm like, oh, it's her. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
She just can't escape.
Yeah, those they have this great relationship that really blossoms, and you see him start to take care of her, and
Right.
it's just so sweet and nice and just charming. The movie is so charming in those moments. It's just like, God damn, dude, you did an amazing
It's
job.
almost like gross just how
It's
charming this
almost too
movie.
charming,
It's
yes,
almost
it's like
too
it's
char
too
it's so
cute.
gross,
It's
but I
too
can't
cute.
help it.
Yeah, I'm a
You
man,
cannot
I need to
help
go, like, smoke a beer, smoke a beer, smoke a cigar or something. I was
Smoke
gonna say
a
I
beer.
combined the 2 things into one, that's how manly I am.
That is the most manly thing I've ever heard. I'm gonna go fuck this, I'm
Yeah,
smoking a beer.
look how charming this is.
I'm gonna smoke a
But
beer.
yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna
so
sniff some beer.
I just wanted to highlight that, and then I also
I
wanna ask you,
yeah.
what were you said you cried 3 times, what was the 2nd time? I
I was
know the
gonna
1st and okay.
thank you because that's exactly what I was gonna go. I was like, well, speaking of that whole section, the
Oh,
second time I cried was when Shruti comes back in to Ranbir's Barfi's life
Mhm.
in that time, right? She comes
Yeah.
back, she realizes that they formed a bond, like, right?
Mhm.
She's kind of half decided to leave Ratjeet, I think his name is, her husband.
Yeah.
Of
Asshole.
yeah, I mean, I kind of
Dickhead.
felt bad for him though too, because it's like, oh fuck, like they've been married for a couple of years and like now she just leaves. Anyways, like he's a dickhead. But um uh the moment where that whole thing that happens, where you see Barfi kind of falling back in
Back
love with
in
her a
love
little
a little
bit
bit.
and
Yeah, yeah,
pushing away Jhilmil was just so freaking heartbreaking, because I feel like that's a moment everyone can relate to for
yeah. Mhm.
sure, when you see someone's attention that was yours being put to someone else, and then just someone's attention not being yours anymore is just
Yeah.
so it hurts, but it particularly in that moment because it's someone she knows Barfi loved before, and that
Mhm.
someone loves him, and it's like,
Yeah.
how does someone with autism deal with that but
Right.
run the fuck away, right?
Right.
And I felt like Barfi should have known better, but it's hard. Like, you have this
Yeah.
person who you was the love of your life essentially, and she's
Yeah.
back in your life. Like, what do you do, right? It's such a
Yeah.
human thing.
It's a
It
human thing.
happens to
Absolutely. Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
It hurts. It just really hurts to know that she's like, yeah, she ran away and he has to find her. Like, you like she's literally lost. Like, you've lost her.
Yeah.
It's so terrifying. In that moment, you're terrified for him because you know he didn't mean it. It's just such a human moment, and
Yeah.
that's the second time I cried. It's like again, every part. There was a crying moment in every goddamn
Act.
section of this movie, this
Yeah.
act of this movie, that really gets you, and he nails it. And so,
Yeah.
again, it's just great filmmaking, man.
It's really it's like I don't know how much more we can say about how great it is.
Me too. I mean, what else can
I
we say?
well, there's two things else we could say, and that's more on the back end. The music, Barfi's band
Yes,
playing. There's so many great touches with the music when the typewriter's going and then the band
yes, and
starts
it
playing.
goes
I
to
was
the
like,
oh, the detail is incredible.
I was
And
like, oh shit.
I did want to bring that up. I love the fact that they embody the music within
Yeah.
those three performers. You see them periodically throughout the film. I love that little detail. It's so interesting when you think about it. It's like,
Yes.
is it this idea of is like and I guess it's the question of whose perspective are we watching the movie from? Is it
Mhm.
Barfi's perspective, right? For me, it is. I think mostly from his
Yeah, yeah.
perspective,
I
from
think so. Yeah,
my
yeah,
point of view, and I think seeing the band in that way solidifies that, because
yeah.
it was like, for me, it was like what what music he would be experiencing. He
Mhm.
doesn't know what music is,
Right.
right? He doesn't
Yeah.
know what it is, but that's why the music's there. It's to take us through otherwise what he couldn't hear.
Right.
And so it's like and it's very much a character. The music is very much a character, not just because of how tied into the moments of the movie it is. Like, it
Mhm.
literally feels like it affects things that happen in the movie. Like, for example,
Yeah.
there's a one small moment where the light, I forget exactly what moment this is, but the lights go on in like this house,
Yeah.
and like the music cues it in,
Yeah.
and it's so that's how intrinsically tied to the movie it is. and
Yeah.
and just the amount the music is the movie is, I think the whole movie is scored.
Yes, it
I think
is.
it's like
Whole movie
maybe
scored.
a minute or two that's not scored. The
I think the whole movie
movie
is
is
scored because it's
scored.
almost like a silent film.
It's
Yeah.
insane. It's insane the amount of effort. I mean, that poor band.
Yeah.
I hope they had water or something and food. They were properly
Yeah.
lubricated to like score this entire movie, because it's in the entire movie.
Yeah,
The
there's
score
like
is, I'm pretty sure, the entire
I
movie.
think 2 or 3 moments of silence, and that's when you hear from Barfi's
But
perspective.
moments, just
Moments.
tiny
Moments.
parts.
Yeah.
It's
It
almost
is
like it's
the
like
music is
99%
spectacular. Yeah. And then
there.
I also wanna mention just
Insane.
really, really briefly, the color grading in the movie. This is the first time I noticed color grading
Fantastic.
in an Indian film. It is fantastic. When you go to present day, which is in 2012, I think
Yeah.
that's how the years spread out. When you go to present day and it's them and it's like Barfi's final moments and it's them recalling the story and it's kind of
Oh,
like documentary style stuff. That is
that was another
it's like
moment, by the
it's
way.
grayscaled, it's beautiful, it looks like it's realistic, and of course, it's more muted because it's supposed to be
Yeah.
sad.
Well, it looks like a funeral. It's also
Yeah, it is a
accentuates the white that everyone's playing.
Yes, dude.
Let me talk about that one scene, by the way. The
Go ahead.
reveal The reveal of it not being a documentary. I was the whole time I was thinking like, so it's a I was like, okay, so it's a documentary. So like, did he do something famous and then he's being like they're documenting his after his death? No, it's just all of them in the waiting room. I was like, that's fucking brilliant.
Yeah,
What
just
a
them talking.
brilliant way to show that moment. Like, oh no, it's not a documentary. It's everyone in his life coming together who don't usually have to speak to each other that much, right? So that's why they're explaining like their thought process about what was happening before. That was such a brilliant choice.
Yeah.
I was like, like what a surprise to have way late into the game. I was like, this is fucking brilliant. It's just a brilliant movie. I loved it.
I loved the ending where they go together. Very sweet.
Of course.
It's like, yeah.
Oh,
beautiful.
and they still had that little bit for Ileana where you realize that she had folded and
all the photos are out of her.
Even after, so again, what a human moment to know that she just all these years she still
loved him.
What wanted that.
Yeah,
she is still. She was folding this autistic girl and out of the.
It's his wife. It's not just an autistic. His wife out of all the photos.
It's so great, so great. It's a movie that, again, like Three Idiots. It's a movie that just keeps on giving.
Yeah,
all the way up right into the final frame. What a masterpiece of a love humor. Genre. I must agree with you, man. I don't think every Hugh Grant movie I've seen, like, there's just nothing that
2 Weeks Notice isn't as good as it.
2 Weeks Notice about a boy. No, like there's just no movie in this genre I think that does it better. I think it's the best movie I've seen in this genre I've ever seen thus far. It's a masterpiece of the genre. It just is. Until
something comes along and can really, really take me the way this did. I didn't cry, but I did just like this moments are so sweet. I don't know if I'll ever see another great love story like this again. Like, this is fantastic. I can't get over
it. I can't get over it.
Special this movie was. Like,
I wanted to talk about it right away. Like right after the movie. I was like,
fuck, I wish
it was 1 a.m. for me, but I was like, fuck, I wish we could just talk about it right now. Cause like,
1 a.m.
It was 1 a.m. when I said
over here, 1 a.m. This asshole sleeps 2 hours past our shoot time. But he stays up to 1 a.m. to watch a movie.
I know, right? I know.
Yeah, no, this is just a spectacular movie. It's
spectacular.
I think if you have anything else, I don't.
I think we covered it all. But then again, there was a note last time on the last movie we watched, which was the title of this movie, Sanhund. What the fuck was it, dude? Anhund. Fuck.
And dun.
And then I'm sorry.
And
we love this movie. Just wanted to make sure. But like they brought it up last time that we kind of missed talking about like the villainess or whatever like that. Even after how much we love that movie, I forgot we didn't really cover that. Sorry about that. She was fantastic.
She was absolutely.
But
so villainous.
I think we pretty much covered everything. Just because I was gushing about this movie in my mind.
I think we could say something about the father being an asshole, but like I don't think really that's the point of the story.
It's not.
I think we talked about the biggest points of the stories. But if we missed anything, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Other than that, I really do think we covered almost everything. Because I mean, fucking pick a scene or whatever. I'll probably love it. Like, how about that? Just whatever you're thinking. Yeah, I loved it. How about that?
He was just anytime the sheriff shows around and chases after Barfi, it's just such a good time.
It really is.
There's like 3 or 4 different scenes in the movie like that, and it's hilarious. I'm telling you, the kidnapping scene might be the funniest stuff I've ever seen put to film.
Funny. Yeah,
it's like, really, and then watching him like drive away with the daughter was hilarious as well. I
want to bring up one more point that I think a lot of movies need to stop doing. It doesn't treat its audience as dumb.
It doesn't. No.
It plays like such a silly movie, but it not once does it treat you as stupid. It allows you to be with the characters. It allows you to make sure it trusts that you'll understand. Like, there are no subtitles for the hand signals.
No.
There's no subtitles.
That's a brilliant point. Yes, there are no subtitles. Wonderful point. but you understand what he's going
it
through.
trusts the director trusts that you'll understand what they're talking about, which
Yes.
you do.
Brilliant
You
point.
understand exactly what they're doing
Yeah.
just from their performance. And again, that's the kind of fucking balls that I wish directors today and studios would have.
Yeah.
Just like know that
I don't
you
need to
can
hold your
get
hand.
this across. Remember that movies they had very little to at their disposal to tell a story, and people got it back then.
Yeah.
People are should be smarter now.
Yeah.
They are. If you give them the benefit of the doubt, we are smarter, and obviously we understand what that means. We get it. You don't have to fucking pander to us.
Very good point.
So
subtitle point is brilliant.
You know, not only are the filmmakers smart, but they also don't treat us like we're dumb.
To be fair, a lot of these Indian movies have done that. They're not hand holding you through a movie, through this thing. They expect you to understand it. They expect you to get it.
They expect you to be paying attention.
Yeah.
A lot of studios assume that people will have ADHD and they won't pay attention. It's not that we have ADHD. It's just that your story fucking sucks, probably.
Yeah.
Fucking give a good story and we'll pay attention.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. I think we covered it all.
That's it, man.
Wonderful movie. Just
fucking awesome.
Charming.
Masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece. It is a masterpiece. It is a masterpiece.
Another one.
Fantastic. Can't wait to dive into more from Ranbir. We know he's a big star. And we're gonna one last thing. We're gonna post a poll on our poll thing, whatever YouTube polls, whatever we do. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
The poll, and we're gonna ask you guys to give us suggestions on what should be the first movie we react to. We're gonna try to do it.
Let's give it a shot.
We're not the best at it, but we're gonna try to do it. But we want the most outrageous freaking Indian movie out there to react to. I'm talking. It better be on the level of like a dude picking up a motorcycle and throwing it to another guy. I don't fucking know. The other guy catches it, and then he kicks it to the other guy, and then he scores a goal because they're playing motorcycle soccer. That's the twist. That's what I want. If it's gonna be something like that, that's what I want.
Motorcycle soccer.
Yes, we'll cut this clip off, and you tell us which should be our very first movie to react to, and just go wild in the comments, debate all you want, and we'll do it. We'll do one reaction video, and we'll see how it works.
I gotta give you props to that, man. That was like probably one of the most creative things you've ever spat out of your mouth.
Thank you. I've been playing a lot of FIFA. Soccer. I've been playing a lot of FIFA. I'm looking at getting a motorcycle. Just kidding. I would never.
Please don't.
My wife would never let me.
Not just your wife. How about your friend? Fucking I have so many friends who've had motorcycles, and I can't tell you the stress that I get when they tell me. I call them up and they're like answering their fucking phone on the motorcycle. I'm like, stop talking to me. No, stop. No, I'm hanging up. I'm hanging up. Fuck you. I'm hanging up.
I rolled my ankle cutting grass the other day. I'm not going to get a motorcycle. That's not for me. Like that's no, no, sir. But thank you so much for watching, liking. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't.
Please do.
And next week, last announcement. Next week we are getting back to our regular cadence. So our first anime movie will come next week. And our first and we're back to doing American cinema because we have Guardians of the Three. I'm tired and I'm hungry. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 coming out. So we'll react to that. We'll talk about all the news that dropped, but we're back. We're both back in America finally. Yeah. So unfortunately, wah, wah, wah. Thanks for watching.
Thank you guys. Bye.